of Nigeria. Lagos Police institutes movement restrictions ahead of Saturday's local government election. On the foreign scene, French, UK leaders agree on need for new deterrent on small boats. Good evening, this is news at 7 on Western Spring Television. I am Temitope Ajijolaoluwa Ola. We begin in the National Assembly as the Senate approves the Electricity Act Amendment Bill 2025 through second reading in a move to rescue the country's ailing power sector from looming collapse. Sponsored by Senator Eyinaya Baribe, Abia South, the amendment seeks to overhaul the 2023 Electricity Act by addressing regulatory gaps as some lawmakers propose capital punishment for vendors. Leading the debate, Senator Baribe, who also chairs the Senate Committee on Power, warns that the country's electricity industry is buckling under the weight of inefficiencies and financial mismanagement. He noted that the current law contains minimal penalties for offenders, has not been fully operationalized, and lacks clarity on key regulatory provisions. The amendment, which scaled second reading, has been referred to the Committee on Power to report back within 6 weeks.
The primary objective of this bill is to address the critical issues that have emerged since the implementation of the Electricity Act, EA, in 2023. Specifically, the bill seeks to include provisions that will, 1, enhance policy and regulatory coordination between national and subnational governments to avoid legal disputes and inconsistencies. 2, strengthen sectoral financing in the face of crippling sector debt crisis. As of today, the federal government is owing close to 4-point-something trillion. And this type of debt can only be cured if the act is amended so that the balance of responsibilities rests equally on the different sectors of our economy. 3, to criminalize critical electricity infrastructure vandalism.
In the meantime, the Senate has mandated a joint committee to investigate the alarming rise of Ponzi schemes across the country, following the collapse of the crypto bullion exchange CBEX, which reportedly defrauded investors of over 1.3 trillion naira. The decision followed a motion sponsored by the lawmaker representing Lagos East in the Red Chamber, Senator Adetokunbo Abiru. In the motion, the lawmaker expressed deep concern over the unchecked spread of fraudulent investment schemes, including the infamous Nigeria, MBA Forex, and most recently CBEX, which lured millions of Nigerians with promises of high returns on digital assets. Lawmakers in the debate warned that CBEX's collapse had devastating financial and psychological consequences, pushing victims into depression, family breakdowns, and in some cases, suicide. The Senate further expressed shock that CBEX operated unchecked for months despite its large-scale activities and online visibility, with no timely intervention from regulatory agencies.
Concerned about the rapid proliferation and alarming rise of unregulated and fraudulent investment schemes, commonly known as Ponzi or pyramid schemes, such as Nigeria in 2016, MBA Forex in 2020, to mention a few, which have repeatedly defrauded millions of Nigerians, causing severe financial hardship and in some cases, driving victims to depression, family breakdowns, and even suicide. Note in particular the recent case of crypto bullion exchange CBEX, a digital investment platform which lured millions of Nigerians with the promise of outrageous returns before suddenly collapsing and resulting in investors losing over 1.3 trillion and making it one of the most devastating financial scams in the country's history. Further notes that the CBEX incident is not an isolated case, but part of an existing and growing pattern of unregulated and fraudulent schemes that leverages technology, social media to deceive the public, and often using tactics such as referral commissions, celebrity endorsements, and fake testimonials to build credibility and drive recruitment. I'm shocked that despite the scale of operations and visibility of CBEX, it operated for an extended period without facing sanctions by either the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, the CBN, the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, and also EFCC. Alarmed that the lack of coordinated oversight, real-time monitoring, and strict enforcement by relevant agencies has created an enabling environment for such schemes to flourish, eroding public trust in legitimate financial institutions and posing a systemic risk to the economy. Recognizes that the growing sophistication of such fraudulent platforms, combined with low levels of financial literacy and a lack of access to formal.
In another development, a former national chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, has been inaugurated as the chairman of the board of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN. Benga Saka, the special advisor on digital media to the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, posted a video of the inauguration on his X handle. In January, President Bola Tinubu appointed him as the FAN board chair. A ceremony which was held in Abuja on Wednesday came weeks after Ganduje resigned as the national chairman of the ruling party. According to the APC, Ganduje resigned owing to personal reasons. Ganduje, a former governor of Kano State from 2015 to 2023, took over the APC chairmanship reins in August 2023.
Who is the director of Aerodrome, who is responsible for all the airports in this country, representing our own minister and entire engineer PT Bembe. Congratulations, Engineer Bembe.
Now turning to politics, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has denied meeting former head of state, the late General Sani Abacha, clarifying his role with the late ruler. In a personal act on Wednesday, Mr. Obi released an official appointment letter from 1996 to debunk allegations that he worked for the military leader. The late General Abacha ruled Nigeria from 1993 until his death in 1998. His regime was criticized for widespread human rights violations, suppression of dissent, and large-scale looting of public funds. Many critics had accused Obi of secretly collaborating with the Abacha regime, but the former Anambra State governor released a document appointing him to a federal government task force on parts decongestion. Mr. Obi clarified that his role was purely economic and civic, not political, adding that his engagement was a response to inefficiencies plaguing the country's port operations at the time. He further expressed skepticism that the release of the document would silence critics, whom he referred to as mischief makers with ulterior motives. In Lagos State, police authorities in the state have announced restrictions and movements in the southwest state on Saturday for the local government elections. The Lagos Police Command, in a statement today, said the total restriction of vehicular movement will be from 3 a.m. on Saturday till 3 p.m. of the same day. The command added that the restriction of vehicular movement will apply to all roads and waterways within the state's jurisdiction. The police, however, said essential services workers were excluded from the restriction on movement. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, uncovers an illegal operation involving the sale of fake chemicals, expired food flavors, unauthorized fertilizers, and repackaged pharmaceutical raw materials in the Alakmere area of Ketu, Lagos. The agency, in a statement, disclosed that the operation led to the arrest of several suspects and the sealing of 3 warehouses filled with dangerous substances. NAFDAC Director of Investigation and Enforcement Martins Iluyomade told journalists that the raid followed credible intelligence about a criminal network engaged in large-scale food and chemical counterfeiting. Iluyomade describes the agency's action as its campaign carried out to protect the health of Nigerians, stressing that individuals posing as legitimate business operators while engaging in activities that seriously endanger public health. Now to security, the Oyo State government said it has procured 2 aircraft to curb the menace of illegal miners, kidnappers, and other security threats in the state. The Commissioner for Information, Prince Dotun Oyelade, disclosed this in a statement after the weekly State Executive Council meeting. Mr. Dotun said the procurement was approved in a renewed determination by the government to secure the state further from the influx of bandits and the perpetration of their enterprise. According to the Commissioner, the Council noted that though Oyo State enjoys relative peace compared to other states in the Federation, the government would not be complacent. He explains that the 2 light aircraft DA-42 MNG model were intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance aircraft with sophisticated surveillance gadgets capable of identifying targets from high and low altitudes. A fire outbreak in the early this morning razed 5 shops beside the Olowaifun shopping complex in the Orita Challenge area of Ibadan, Oyo State. The chairman of the Oyo State Fire Service, Maruf Akinwande, confirms this in a statement revealing that the blaze started around 2:24 a.m. Akinwande said firefighters responded swiftly and prevented the fire from spreading to other shops and the complex. Preliminary investigations suggest the inferno was caused by an electrical surge that ignited nearby flammable materials. Akinwande urged residents and business owners to prioritize fire safety and adopt preventive measures to avoid similar incidents. Elsewhere, 50 small business owners in Osun State have been trained in digital marketing, branding, and social media use. The training was carried out alongside the launch of the Biz Growth mobile app, a part of the Brand Boost project of the Initiative for Youth's Resource Center, with support from the United States Consulate, Lagos. Isaac Aloba's report as presented from our studios.
Small and medium-scale businesses in Nigeria have received a fresh boost as the United States government, through its consulate in Lagos, says it is prioritizing digital empowerment for local entrepreneurs. Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Consulate, Julie McKay, made this known at the launch of the Biz Growth mobile app in Osogbo, which is a part of the Brain Boost project of the Initiative for Youth Resource Center. McKay said the U.S. is committed to training young Nigerians, helping to bridge the digital divide and strengthening ties between both countries.
So my name is Julie McKay from the U.S. Consulate General in Lagos, and I'm here today in Osogbo at the launch of the Biz Growth app, and that is a program that grew out of a project we funded for one of our alumni, Osaze. Why don't you come here? To support the launch of his project that grew out of training entrepreneurs and helping them market their businesses, their products, and have content creation online. All of this goes to what we are trying to do in terms of workforce development, skills building, helping build the economy here, whether it's the digital economy, and helping young people find jobs, build businesses, and connecting the U.S. to Nigeria, building two-way mutual trade and investment. And it helps. That's why we're here, and we're so glad to be in Osun.
An MOU between the United States and Nigeria, and it's to break down the barriers to business growth and investment in agriculture, infrastructure, and the digital economy. And that's what you guys are doing here right now, the digital economy.
The host of the event and team lead of iYouth Resource Center, Osaze Isonorai, said many local traders in Osun are losing out due to limited digital knowledge. To solve that, the center, working with the U.S. Consulate, has trained 50 small business owners in digital marketing, branding, and social media use, while developing the Biz Growth mobile app as a guide and one-stop help to the trainees and other local entrepreneurs.
The adoption of technology in this environment has been a major challenge, particularly now that internet service providers have increased, the cost of internet data. 2024, we had a partnership with the United States Consulate General Lagos to train 50 small business owners in digital marketing. We train them using artificial intelligence to boost their brands by setting up content and teaching them how to use several tools in graphic designs. And the objective was to ensure that they increase their brand visibility and profitability. After that project, we began to realize that a lot of the small business owners, they have a lot of product and services that are needed globally, and they still lacked that use of tools and opportunities for them to thrive and sustain their businesses. So we decided to set up a mobile app that would be an all-in-one tool for small business owners, starting with an opportunities hub.
Studies show that digital literacy in Osun State is moderate, with young people leading the shift toward tech adoption, thanks in part to initiatives like this. Also present was the Special Advisor to the Osun State Government on Science, Technology and Digital Economy, Honorable Aziz Badmas, who confirmed that new digital economy bills are currently under debate in the State House of Assembly, stressing that the Governor Ademola Adeleke administration prioritizes the digital economic development.
Shows one of the things the governor actually believes in the youth, and believed ever since we've been in office. We've been trying hard to see how we can, a youth-driven economy, and that's why we targeted more of the digital economy sector. So very soon we have some bills in the House on data protection, Startup Act. We had the third reading today. So the next couple of weeks we should have it set into law, and we also have the AI governance. And now, how do we use technology to help?
Meanwhile, CEO of Rave 91.7 FM and Western Spring Television, Dr. Femi Adefila, commended the U.S. Consulate for investing in the future of Osun through digital training.
We have with the Consulate General, and that you've assisted our dreams to blossom. You've assisted our programs to thrive, and we can be responsible and effective members, and we are adding so much value because you are supported.
One of the beneficiaries, Adedeji Okpeyemi Blessing, a local shoemaker, shared how the training helped her brand and market her product online, attracting clients from across the country.
From the brand boost experience, before, my business has always been just from mouth to mouth, like referrals are just from mouth to mouth, my friends telling other persons. But during the brand boost, my social media handle has been a very wonderful one. There has been a lot of work going on it, and it has actually boosted my brand. Like, I've been able to get clients from all over the nation. Like, I have clients from different kind of states. I don't do just outdoor and indoor anymore. I do nationwide delivery.
The Biz Growth mobile app was developed by the iYouth Resource Center, a youth-led NGO launched in 2020 dedicated to closing the digital divide, especially in rural and underserved communities.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, has begun the evacuation of street beggars and miscreants from the nation's capital. The move followed a directive from the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, that the satellite towns in the FCT be completely rid of street beggars and traders, wanton syndicates, scavengers, miscreants, and other social nuisances. Disclosing this in a statement on Wednesday, a spokesman of the minister, Larry Olayinka, said the operation was in line with the Abuja Environmental Protection Act and other relevant laws. He disclosed that the nation's capital should be a secure symbol of pride and beauty, not a site for street beggars and scavengers, most of whom are agents of criminal elements. He added that a joint task force comprising security agencies and relevant FCT SDAs has been deployed to apprehend any persons found begging, scavenging, loitering, or engaging in other acts inimical to the well-being of the residents. You're watching news at 7 on Western Spring Television. Still to come, EFCC secures conviction of 146 foreigners over financial crimes. We will bring you more on this when we return. Stay with us.